Have you decided if you're going to tell your kids about Santa Claus yet? Are you going to do that?
I haven't even thought about that, dude.
That's something you should think about right now.
I have time to think about it now. You're right.
I'm just saying, like, if you're going to think about that ever, it should be now. And
should be this moment in
this
time.
moment, dude. You should not come out of this pandemic with any questions
With any
unanswered.
thoughts of, like, how would I even support a family right now with the economy like it is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to think about the important things, like, will I tell my son or daughter if the tooth fairy is real?
Will Santa support my family?
Yeah.
I will
want
say
them to like the idea of getting free stuff, free handouts from someone. So I'm not gonna,
true. That's true.
Just a very libertarian approach to parenting.
But also, Santa Claus is pretty good about that because he knows if you're naughty or nice, and you only get shit from Santa if you're good.
Yeah, it's weird
But that's
that like
not
we
the case
force
with the Easter Bunny.
It's weird that we like force a sense of like morality onto children of whether they'll be rewarded or not by being good or bad. Yet in real life, bad people get away with most of the stuff all the time.
That is true. That is true. I mean, it is an important way of enforcing morality on children. I think that's obviously important. You got to instill in your kid's mind that you got to be good, you know?
Well, because
So
like all kids are like sociopaths until like the age of like, I don't know, fucking 19.
Yeah, 19,
So,
when they
like-
figure out roast beast isn't real.
Yeah.
That's really when your
So,
brain
like-
frontal cortex develops.
You almost have to like trick them. You have to trick them into being good. Otherwise, they'd be like little monsters with material goods, you know?
Well, the problem is a kid doesn't understand, like, and I feel like it's the same reason why I think religion gets a bad rap because
Well, I mean,
people-
that's the same thing too. Like the people saying like, oh, God's always watching. you
yeah,
know?
it's the same thing, but it's enforcing good values, but it enforces good values in a way that you don't have to think about them, you know? And when you're a kid, you can't really explain to a kid in like logical fashion at 5 years old how being a good person does this X, Y, Z later in life. So instead you make up these fake things like Santa Claus and say like, no, dude, you just gotta be good. He's always watching you. I know it's weird. He's gonna come down the chimney on Christmas.
Yeah, no, he left this elf on the shelf here. To
That is one thing my
surveil
family
you at
never
all
did.
Times. Yeah, then my family never did that either.
We all, you know what else we didn't do really? Stockings. I feel like my mom tried to do stockings, but then
We
she never
had-
put anything in them.
We had stockings because my grandma made everyone's stockings. Like my parents had one, me and my brother had one, all of our cousins had one from her. Mm-hmm. And then we had like a reindeer stocking that would just be designated to whatever dog we had at the time.
Nice. Yeah, that was something my parents would do. Would get my dog presents for Christmas, which I always thought was cute, I guess. But like, the tooth fairy doesn't enforce morality. The tooth fairy is just basically saying like, you lost a tooth. Congratulations. That's the participation trophy of
Yeah.
myths.
Yeah, it like makes you think that I mean, I guess, I don't know. Tooth Fairy is weird because like it instills in you that like you can sell parts of your body are worth money.
That's true.
Training,
is true.
We're training OnlyFan girls, dude.
Well, the weirdest thing about
If I
tooth
can
fairy
get
is
$10 for my tooth, what can I get for my snatch?
all the other mythical characters are like mildly intrusive. Like Santa Claus comes into your house at night and he like leaves shit under the tree, but it's kind of like, you know, it's kosher. He's not fucking walking in your room or anything. Easter Bunny usually doesn't even come inside. Easter Bunny just goes around, goes in your backyard.
Leaves some hidden eggs.
Puts a couple
They'll
plastic
leave
eggs under a
basket
bush.
inside sometimes, you know.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Only if you have the door unlocked. He's not breaking anybody's house. Santa Claus is going down the fucking chimney. Most houses don't even have chimneys anymore. He's figuring it out. The Tooth Fairy is vaporizing into your room and seeing that you have a dismembered part of your body under your pillow and trading and going while you're asleep and fucking lifting up your pillow and sliding you like 25. How much money did your parents give you?
Probably at most $5, but it was usually just like $1 or something, I think.
That's really shortchanging you, dude. To go through that
I mean,
entire
like,
process of losing
But
a tooth
also,
and getting
like,
$5.
I didn't really think it was like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I ever thought the Tooth Fairy was real.
You just kind of just play along.
I don't know if my parents I can't remember if they ever like, I don't know. I kind of just like knew at a young age when when my mom would be like, all right, yeah, tooth fairy, put it on your pillow. Your tooth fairy will give you $1 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I kind of knew there wasn't a tooth fairy, you know?
Yeah. I tell you what, dude, that is one thing I probably won't do. Maybe. Because it's just going to be awkward. Because, like, I'm going to get caught. My kid's going to catch me in his room.
I don't get the whole, like, thing. I don't get the tooth fairy thing at all. Like, I understand the like, Santa Claus. I understand most of the other holidays, like Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, because they're just the same thing. It's just a different holiday.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking Ryu and Ken, where they just like change or like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, where they change the color on them.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I believed in Scorpion.
No, I think in that game, I remember seeing on like G4 or something back in the day, where they're saying like the game didn't have enough memory for another character, so they just like did a color palette switch on like Scorpion and a Sub-Zero, and then gave it a different moveset.
Wow.
Yeah, but for holidays, I understand those like tall tale holiday heroes, but I never understood the Tooth Fairy. There's no good message behind the Tooth Fairy. There's no like, I mean, there's like a fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson Tooth Fairy movie, but like no one thinks the Tooth Fairy is cool. Like the Tooth Fairy at the end of the day is weird. Like, why does it want all these teeth?
That's true. What are you doing with all his teeth? But also, I will say this about the Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy is like more similar to like a Krampus style like villain.
Yeah, very much the Jack Skellington of the mythical creature world. But I will say this about the Tooth Fairy in the Tooth Fairy's defense, because I feel like I've been ragging on him a lot. Her, him, her, whatever it is. I'm imagining it's a girl. I always pictured the Tooth Fairy as like a girl with like a light blue dress and
I think of it as
blonde
like,
curly hair. I don't know why.
I think of it as like the grandma witch.
That's how you think of the Tooth Fairy?
In like whatever Disney shit. Like I think of her as like one of the witches or whatever from Cinderella.
Is that always how you picture her though?
Yeah,
when
like
you were
the
a kid?
blue frumpy fucking
Oh my! I always imagined like a super hot chick.
Oh no! I always thought
it
as
like a super hot chick that came
like
in my
a
room.
sweet old lady, not like a gross, not like a
See, that's fucked up.
But I think of her as like the fucking whatever, like the sister witch on Sabrina, like the two sisters that raised Sabrina. I think of her as the fun one.
Dude, I mean, like, I don't know if my dad ever really played into it. It was probably more so my mom when it came to the Tooth Fairy. I don't know if they ever described her. I don't know if my mom was like, I don't know where I got the idea that the Tooth Fairy was hot.
Just some fucking smoke show, just coming and taking your teeth.
I don't know if my mom was like, Jim,
like,
you just lost your...
a hot woman wants my teeth. You as a kid rationalizing that.
Lost your first tooth. And tonight, a super hot babe is going to come in your room and steal that tooth and leave you $2 because I just got laid off. But yeah, I feel kind of bad that that's how you pictured it.
Don't feel bad. I mean, also like, you got $2. That's dope.
I was going to say about that particular subject, because this is such an important subject that we're honed in on right now, that
like I think I got $1 for each of my teeth, and then the last one I got $5. I'm pretty sure.
Because your parents know, that's the main thing. The Tooth Fairy is the easiest thing as a parent because it's cut and dry. When your kid stops losing his teeth, then you break the news to him. You don't have any more teeth. You're not losing any more teeth, bro. Yeah. So as soon as you lose your last tooth, you come out and you say it. Hey, Tooth Fairy is not actually real. You got all your adult teeth now. You're ready for some adult knowledge. Santa Claus isn't like that. Santa Claus is a very subjective thing where certain parents will allow that lie to go on for longer than it should, and then you become a weirdo at school.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in most situations, a kid never learns from their parents that Santa Claus isn't real. It's always from other kids.
Yeah, but also I think that from now on, new rule of parenting: when your kid loses all his kid teeth, that's when you tell him everything. That's when you break the news. There is no reason why a kid with a full set of adult teeth should be believing in Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy.
The moment your kid loses all of his teeth, give him the sex talk.
Give him the sex talk. All right. These are going to be the teeth you're going to be using when you have sex, Charlie.
Listen, the stork's not real. I fuck your mom. Listen, fucking, this is what it's all about.
I think the stork
You're going
was...
to base your entire life, your personality, the way you interact with people around fucking.
It's time we tuned you in. I think that was the one thing that I will hand it to my parents. They never sold me the stork story.
Yeah, I never got the stork story either.
Because that's like the dumbest one.
It doesn't even make sense. Because it's like, why? How would they give me you, or how would they give you me, and then also I look exactly like you? Yeah,
and it's like, I remember having that talk with my dad when I was like 6, way too young. I knew what sex was before I knew Santa Claus wasn't real. I feel like that's reverse order
already.
Yeah, I had sex and still believed in Santa Claus when I was having sex. I don't think you should ever have sex when you still believe in Santa Claus. Those are just two things that don't go together. I'm fucking this girl and wondering if Santa's watching. Oh no, is this naughty or nice?
Oh god, there's so many times where I just wish you did stand up, dude.
But that was the one thing where like I kind of stumped. I was like talking to my dad and he was explaining to me the sex talk, and I remember asking, because they never told me about the stork, like I said, but I just kind of gathered it because that's what every other parent would say, and that's what teachers would say when you were that age, like, oh, the stork. And so I was like, so when he explained sex, he was like, no, sex is how you make a kid. But it still wasn't registering to me. I knew what sex was because I had seen movies where like there were sex scenes. I was like, what are they doing? Are they just like... You didn't really know what sex was for the longest time. Actually, probably way too long in my life. I thought I was severely fucked up because my dick pointed up when it got hard. Because I thought the vagina was on the front.
Gonna fuck a girl?
I thought the vagina was like where the dick is, like on the front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, I feel like my dick should be pointing straight ahead like an arrow. And so I'm never gonna be able to have sex. But I found out, later when I lost my virginity that it all works out.
Yeah.
But
and
I remember
your dick never gets that hard again.
But I do remember asking when he said that, I was like, so you're telling, okay, so, because when you're a kid, you still have all these working theories. And when you're exposed to new information, it's too much to be told that no. It's like taking the red pill. It's like, no, dude, everything we told you up to this point is fake. You have to let go of everything.
It's like Kids Next Door, dude.
You know all the information we pumped into your head? Just forget all of it and just start from zero because I'm about to fucking break your mind right now. So I was still trying to incorporate the myths into reality. I was still trying to incorporate that, okay, so I get it. Like, Dad, okay, I get it. You and Mom had sex. But like then when you had sex, that's when the stork was like, all right, they just banged. So I'm going to bring this kid to them because they had sex. Like that's the adult version of to the Tooth Fairy. Like, you had sex and now your reward is this child.
Dad put the condom under the pillow and then I woke up almost suffocated underneath of it.
It just is because I don't know. It was too much at once to be told that all those things. Because when I was younger, I really wanted to believe in the Greek gods because I thought it was super cool. But then I also believed in like regular God because that's how I was raised, Christian. But then I was like, but dude, the Greek gods are so much cooler. Like Zeus is sick. The Greeks have gods for everything. They have a god of wine, they have a god of fire, god of war, and so
There's
like
a god of like fucking,
god of
just like running fast.
running fast. Just like all the shit they liked. The god of that. Coming up with ridiculous shit. That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so much easier to invent shit back then, dude. You can invent a new god.
Yeah.
It's the god of sandwiches.
Yeah,
Fuck.
dude, if they had sandwiches back then, there would have been a god of sandwiches.
Because exactly. They just hadn't invented it yet. They had all the gods invented, but they hadn't quite put the two and two together of bread and meat yet. But like I used to pray to the gods, the Greek gods, to be like, yo, can you let main god know that I was like I would like pray to like the god of like wind, Aeolus. He was always my favorite. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I was like the god of
you
wind.
were poly with your gods, dude.
I was very poly.
And you're very open with them. You're like, listen, I'm seeing another god, like, and I want to tell you about it. I don't want you to find out from someone else.
But I still understood that like God was my main god, you know, like that's my main god. But like all the other gods are like side gods. So I'd be like, yo, Aeolus, can you send it by real God that just like don't be
I know
windy
you're
tomorrow.
quick with it. I know you're quick with it.
Like,
Can you
look,
just please.
This request is wind related, so I know you're the guy to go to about this. Can you pass it on to God that for some reason at 6 years old, I just don't want it to be windy tomorrow. I remember praying that. I remember
At
praying
6
that.
years old, you're hitting up middle management of gods, trying to put in a good word to the boss.
I called up Aeolus. He was like, that's really not my department. God damn it. Fucking government-run agencies.
Yeah, we'll send someone up there in like 3 hours.
Yeah, we'll
What?
get back to it. It's not like a call center, dude. What are you even praying to the god of wine about? Dear, what Dionysus? Dionysus is the god of wine.
Dear Dionysus,
Can I please get drunk from this wine?
please turn this grape juice to wine.
You know what a great time to pray
I
to
don't
the
want to beat my wife.
when you're underage and you're trying to buy alcohol, those kids in ancient Greece were definitely praying to the god of wine. I guarantee it.
If you're
Even though they
underage trying to buy alcohol,
Probably didn't have liquor laws in ancent Greece.
yeah, no.
Especially
Or
since they were
otherwise,
fucking
you-
older dudes.
Yeah, you could just get your older dude to get it for you.
It's like, dude, you're 9 years old. It's like, yeah, my boyfriend has the hookup.
Yeah, just
He's
bang
36.
bang me out behind the store and go pick me up a bottle of the nice stuff.
I prayed to the god of wine that this older man wouldn't fuck me. But he said that wasn't his department. You got to pray to the god of not fucking underage boys. Totally different god.
Oh yeah, there's no god like that back then.
Definitely not Zeus.
You had to pray to Hades for that.
That's what I will say. I do think the Greek gods were kind of dope about that because the Greek gods, they
They let the boy fucking slide.
let everything slide, dude. Zeus fucked regular chicks.
Oh,
Like he
yeah.
was like a god to the Greeks. He was
fucks,
like,
like,
dude, this guy
animals and
fucks
shit.
every girl. Like he fucks
was-
gods,
Yeah, he would come to like Earth as like an animal and fuck women.
which is like, dude, if I could come to Earth as anything to fuck a hot chick, I'd
He
just
came
come
to Earth as a
hot
Labrador
guy.
and fucked Elizabeth Warren.
I wouldn't. If I was a fucking god, I wouldn't be like, yo, I'm gonna come to Earth as a fucking goat and seduce this maiden. I'd be like, I'm just gonna come to Earth as like a dope ass dude. I feel like my shot is way
Come to
better.
Earth as a TikTok boy.
The god of TikTok, dude. Alex Glazer.